Have you ever poured so much of yourself into something that by the time that thing came, you were too exhausted to enjoy it, or just too exhausted to really be there in the moment? Right now, I'm getting ready for the Tour de Corgi, and I cannot help but to be nagged by a lesson I learned in grad school. I'm Alex Reynolds. I'm the founder and designer of Charming Quail Jewelry Design, where we design jewelry that helps you to relish in the things that you nerd out about, but with an elegance, a timeless elegance that makes everyone else jealous. Now, right now, as time of filming, I'm about 2 days away from the Tour de Corgi, and I have been pouring everything I've got into it. I am absolutely exhausted at this point, and I can't help but to remember a lesson I learned in grad school. And see, I went to Auburn University and I studied industrial design. And so presenting design projects was part of what we did on a day-to-day basis. We were always presenting concepts and sketches and renders and prototypes and things like that to sharpen our skills and harden us as designers into good designers, right? And we all were very passionate about what we did, and it was very common for us to pull an all-nighter the night before our presentation to really get our drawings or renders or prototypes or whatever it was perfect for the presentation, get our slideshow perfect for the presentation, try and get everything just perfect. And of course, the consequence to that was we would always show up pretty exhausted. And while we would put on a professional presentation, we weren't at our sharpest, and we would have to field all kinds of questions about the design decisions that we made, and we'd have to manage criticisms and things, which was a part of the whole presentation process. And that's really hard to do when you're exhausted. So I figured out a way to beat the system, or at least so I thought. And what I was going to do, my grand plan was I was going to pull an all-nighter, but I was going to do it one day early. That way, the next day, I could rest the entire day, be done with my project, and be fully rested for my presentation. I was so proud of myself. I was telling all my cohorts about it. I was telling all my friends about it. And I'm sure it probably went something along the lines of, man, I got this great idea, and it's going to either be amazing or it's going to be a total epic fail. I can't wait to see what happens. You know, that kind of a thing. And I'd say it fell more on the epic fail side of things. So what happened was I pulled my all-nighter one day early, and the next day, when I was supposed to be resting, I looked at the project and said, you know what? There's this one little thing that could be a little bit better. Let me just fix that real quick, right? And then once I fixed that, I was like, oh, now that I've done that, that kind of showed off this other thing that needs to be fixed a little bit more. Let me do that real quick and I'll get to resting. And then, oh, there's something. Let me get that real quick. And as you can imagine, that built up and built up. And the next morning, I come rolling into the house and my wife's getting ready for work. And she's like, you did not pull 2 all-nighters. And I'm just standing there all loopy, like, yep, that's what I did. I've now, instead of pulling 1 all-nighter, I've now pulled 2 all-nighters in a row and not slept for like 2 or 3 days. And here's the thing about this presentation. This wasn't just a presentation to my class and my professor. This is our final presentation for the project. But this class was a corporate sponsored project, which meant that there was a corporation that paid to be a part of the class and decided what our project was going to be around. So we were all designing for this corporation that also was looking for people, for designers to hire. And so if we did really good in the presentation, we impressed these people, they may hire us for an internship or hire us when we graduate, which as a grad student was a pretty big deal. But the other catch about that was The tradition was for our final presentation of a corporate sponsored class, the corporation would host the final presentation, which meant my presentation wasn't on campus 5 minutes down the road from my house. It was at the corporate location 45 minutes down the highway. And I was so loopy and tired, there was no way I was going to drive there safely. So my wife, being the amazing woman that she is, put on her shiny armor, mounted her white steed, and saved my day after I got myself in over my head. She called into work, explained to them what was going on. This kind of thing doesn't come up often, so they were happy to give her a day off. She took the day off to drive me out there, along with a few other friends. I think I'd promised a ride out there. We're doing some carpooling, and drove us out there. And I remember about 7 minutes into the drive, I remember getting on to the on-ramp. I do not remember getting onto the highway because I passed out hard, which was great. Everybody left me alone because they knew I needed some sleep, and getting a little bit of sleep right before the presentation was awesome. It helped me kind of pull myself together, get a little more rest, and it was great. And in the end, the presentation went off without a hitch. It went like it was supposed to. It was professional. I did not have the energy to really give the enthusiasm that I wanted, and I wasn't as sharp as I would have liked to have been to field the questions at the end of the presentation. But I gave the presentation. It was professional. I pulled it off. It was fine. But lesson of the story was there's always something more to do. It's never done. At some point, you just got to call it and draw the line in the sand and say, no, I am stopping to rest. This is good enough. And I just keep feeling that again and again as I'm getting exhausted, pouring everything I've got into this booth for the Tour de Corgi here, that I'm getting ready. And I'm still waiting for the pieces to be finished, so I've got something to show at the booth other than photos. And I didn't give the metalsmiths very much time, and they told me they'd get it done before the thing anyway. And we've still got 2 days, so we're still within the parameters of exactly what they told me they would do, even though I really didn't give them enough time to do their job. So I'm very thankful to the metalsmiths for everything that they are doing, but I'm getting a little bit anxious, and I am wanting to keep pouring and pouring more into this booth. But I'm about, as of recording, about 2 days out from the Tour de Corgi, and I'm getting to that point where I need to just pull back, get some rest, so that I can be full of enthusiasm and energy while I'm at the booth, and I can share my love for what I'm doing with all the people and the Corgi fans that come by the booth. And this is a pretty big deal for me and Charming Quail, right? Because being a younger business, we've been in business for about 2 years, but I've mostly been focusing on doing CAD modeling for other jewelry companies, building jewelry CAD models for production purposes and client presentations and stuff. But I'm trying to launch the side of the business where I'm running my own design lines, right? I'm selling my own design lines. And this is a big opportunity because it's the first time that I've really had a nearly complete collection. And not just that, like I've got the Rebel collection already, but that one never really had a target audience. It's a beautiful set, and I think it's going to do well, but it doesn't really have a target audience. But the Corgi collection does have a target audience. And at the Tour de Corgi, I'm going to be right there in the middle of the target audience for a whole day. The whole target audience is flying in from around the country to be there. And I can't wait to show them the Corgi collection I've been working on, the cute, timeless, elegant pieces I've been working on, after I've heard from Corgi lovers that there's Corgi jewelry out there, but it's all cheap and junky and kind of cartoonish and not stuff that they really want to wear. They're ready for something a bit more grown up, a bit more mature, a bit more elegant and beautiful and timeless, and something they can hold on for a long time. And so that's what I've created, because that's what Charming Quail specializes in, right? Good isn't cheap, but cheap isn't good, and we focus on the good. And that's what I can't wait to show everybody at the Tour de Corgi. And I'm really hoping that I managed to collect a lot of emails of new fans out there. And if I'm lucky, maybe even make a few sales while I'm there. I've been pouring myself into, one of the things I've been working on is making a little impromptu catalog that people can order stuff from the website while they're standing at the booth. But yeah, hopefully this will take off. And as I move into a more scalable part of the business, I want to build something that not only builds a bigger, stronger business, making more and more beautiful stuff for everybody, but something that creates a better situation for my family where I can build something that allows my wife to take a little bit more time off and spend more time with the family and the kids. I build something that allows me to take more time to spend time with the boys and the family and all that. So I don't know. I'm hoping this will be kind of a first step in getting the business further off the launch pad and really moving along in that direction. Also, bonus, check this out. Have you seen this yet? Sheri Lauren, the artist that I tend to do a lot of collaborations with, she did a Corgi collaboration for this. She did an ink drawing for Inktober. There's an Inktober art gallery going on at the Museum of Art, Fort Collins right now. I'm part of that. I've got some of my jewelry up there with some of her collaborative drawings. And this is her latest collaborative drawing of a Corgi, which is now available on her site through this QR code, or you can check the link below and you'll be able to find more stuff about it. But check that out. Isn't that cute? I love that. I love that. So anyway, lesson, remember, I want to hear about your stories, right? So the lesson is we got to remember to draw a line in the sand and carve out time for rest, because there's always something else to do. That doesn't mean we need to keep doing it. Sometimes you got to stop and rest. But I'd love to hear your stories. What were the things that you poured yourself into so much that you drowned yourself? Like, I want to hear the stories where you just totally crashed and wished you had carved out more time for yourself. I don't know. Tell me about yours. And what are the things that you have a tendency to pour yourself into and just exhaust yourself, right? Like, we've got October, Halloween's coming up, right? Making costumes for the kids. We got Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up, right? Like getting ready for family coming out for the holidays and all that. These are all stuff that come to my mind that are very similar. But anyway, check out the links below. Come to the booth. If you're in Fort Collins, Colorado, come to my booth at the Tour de Corgi Saturday here. And I can't wait to see you there. And if you can't make it to the Tour de Corgi, check out the link below. And there's going to be all kinds of cool stuff, from more information about the Tour de Corgi, links to my Corgi collection, which has still got some growing to do. I've got some great stuff available there, but I've got more stuff coming. So be sure to subscribe to the fan feed to see when the new stuff drops. And until then, until next time, embrace infinite nerdy and check out this video here. If you like this video, check out this one where I talk about the inspiration that started the Corgi collection. I think you're going to really enjoy that a lot if you haven't seen it yet. Embrace infinite nerdy.